Hi there, my name is Rashida. The message I have today is about repenting, forgiveness, forgiving. There's so many people who choose to operate from a space of manipulation, corruption, um, controlling. Like, this is what they choose to do for so many years of their life that it becomes normal to them. It does not make sense to them that they are the bad guy. It does not make sense to them that they are the ones that's causing the pain, that they are the ones that's in the wrong. And I think that when we realize it, or um, we should learn to realize it before it gets too deep. But once we realize it, that we need to try to seek forgiveness from those that we've harmed, whether it was, slandering someone's name, or making people turn against someone, you know, trying to control people, anything that it is that we do. It's not too late to ask for forgiveness. It's not too late to admit what we've done, admit the wrong, and ask for forgiveness to the people that we wronged. And it's definitely not too late to repent to God, repent for our wrongs, because God is going to forgive us. It's not too late. So it's best to do it now. It's best to do it right now, instead of waiting for years and years and then living in denial and pretending that this is normal, pretending that what I'm doing is right, pretending that, this is not our behavior, and also pretending that it's not tearing you down. There is no way that you are operating from that space of being negative, choosing to be negative, choosing to destroy someone's life, choosing to manipulate a situation for your good. There's no way that that makes you happy deep within. There's no way that you're finding joy with that when you're on your own. You're feeling sick about that. Guaranteed, you're feeling sick about that when you're alone. So why not go seek forgiveness and change your behaviors right now? You don't want to grow old and have that sitting on you forever. Like, I used to work in healthcare, and I worked in hospice, and I worked with people who most elderly people who were dying, and they would start to tell me things that they done in their life, tell me how they regret how they treated their kids when they were younger. And many of their regrets, they would tell me, a complete stranger, they would tell me these things, and they're dying, and you knew what you were doing wrong in that moment, but you did not choose to you know ask for forgiveness and change what you were doing. It's not too late to just really uproot that darkness and change. It might not be easy, because like any kind of habit or behavior, it's challenging to change it, but you know that it's the right thing to do, and you will feel freed of it. I know many people that I worked with in hospice. They were like really dark people. A lot of them had this, so people would say, oh, that's just a grumpy old person, but when you get to know them, they're dark. And a lot of them are really dark and angry because of the things that they've done in their life, and now they're having to sit and really like see all that they've done. Really, it's like playing over and over in their head. They're having to see what they've done. So dementia and Alzheimer's is really real. But I remember many people who pretended to be forgetful, pretended to have dementia or Alzheimer's, because it was easier to pretend to forget, to be in denial, than to admit what they've done is wrong, to admit that now that they're old, everything that they've gotten away with for years, decades, everything that they've gotten away with is finally smacking them in the face. I've seen people really die horrible, horrible deaths alone, have families, but die completely alone because no one wants anything to do with them after the life that they've had, after the way they've treated people. It reminds me of this saying. It goes something like, you may not remember what a person said or what a person did, but you'll always remember the way they made you feel. So I know it's important for us to treat people kindly, for us to repent if we're moving in a wrong manner, like whether we're the parent, we're the child, in any way, in any relationship. If we've wronged a person, if we've continuously wronged a person for years, it's not too late to apologize. Even if someone has been tearing a person down, doing everything to destroy a person's character for decades, it's okay to still reach out, admit you're wrong, even if you don't want to admit. Apologize. That person might not want you in their life going forward, but apologize is to clear your own conscience. I remember once reading a license plate that said, the good die young and the old live forever. I thought that was really interesting. But, I want to live till I'm older, because I really believe that God is going to use me to influence my descendants in a way that he approves of. But a lot of people do not reap what they sow until they're older. A lot of people who live to old age end up getting sick, getting very sick, having so many horrible illnesses fall upon them, having these horrible tragic deaths at an old age, frail and lone, having these horrible, last days or last years. And this has a lot to do with old age and period, but it has a lot to do with the way they handled themselves, or how they threw stones and hid their hands. They did things that was wrong and thought nobody noticed, or they felt things, or they played these mind games and they tried to tear a person down emotionally, and they thought that nobody noticed. They thought that no one was picking up on it because of the good they were doing elsewhere. What just came to mind is, I'm not going to get too deep in this, but what just came to mind is Jimmy Savile. It was a documentary on Netflix about that. This man was a horrible, horrible person, and also died in his old age, but a horrible person and a horrible death. But he was doing so much wrong, but also in the light of the public, he was, donating and raising money for orphanages and things like that, but was a very dark person. And all of this came out, well, it was like seeping through for years, but it really wasn't exposed until after his death. But we don't want to wait till we're old to start to realize what we did is wrong when it's when it's too late. We need to really like dig within ourselves, find out what it is that is not sitting right within us, because it tears you up. It tears you up. Like, I know people who are not even that old, who's done darkness their whole lives, and they're not even that old, and you see them struggling. You see them struggling mentally and emotionally, even physically. You see that nobody wants to be around them, and you just want to do good. You want to do good in life. You want to try your best to do better. Like I said, if this is you, if you're someone who has done so much shadiness in your life, you've stepped in others to win your whole life. You thought this was fun. You thought this was cool. You actually probably didn't even give it any thought because you wanted to win. It's about you. But at some point, try to realize that karma is going to come. You're going to receive your karma. Whether it's not you, it might be your children, it might be your grandchildren. Somebody is going to have to pay for what you did. So while you're here on this earth right now, ask for forgiveness to those you did wrong. If you don't have the guts to go and talk to those people that you wronged and ask them for forgiveness, ask God for forgiveness. Talk to God and tell him and pour all out what you did, and you will feel so cleaned and cleansed and healed of all of that gunk and that stuff that you've been pressing down in you for so long. I really pray that this message reaches who it needs to reach, and just let you see that you have been being the bad guy, but that doesn't mean that you always have to be the bad guy. You can change. We all can change. Nothing has to stay the same in us. We are, in control of who we choose to be. We have many, many choices throughout the day. It's up to us to choose what we want to do, how we want to handle things, how we want to live, if we want to be righteous or not. So choose to be righteous. Choose to forgive and seek forgiveness. Choose to move in a way that you are going to be proud of yourself, that your grandchildren are going to be proud of you. I hope this message helps someone. I pray this message helps. I pray this message heals. I pray it strengthens, and I will see you in the next video.